Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's learn how to be a little more skeptical of Apple rumors. Way back in episode 222, I took a look at where Apple rumors come from. In this episode, let's look again at Apple rumors, but this time let's find out why a lot of them are wrong and how you can get better at figuring out which are the good rumors and which are the bad ones. So I look at three main factors when trying to determine the validity of a rumor. The first is likeliness. Does a rumor really make sense, considering Apple's actually a pretty conservative company? And also, it's a publicly traded company, so is it going to add shareholder value? A lot of outrageous rumors really don't seem to add any value to the company at all, so why would Apple do them? And when looking at a lot of the rumors that have to do with updates, say new iMacs, new MacBooks, I simply look at the history and you can see a regular cycle of when they update the different product lines. And you can see if it's really too early for them to do so. I can't believe how many rumors there are that there's going to be new iMacs or new MacBooks just a month or two after the last line has been released. The second factor is sources. In other news areas, sources are very important, but Apple rumors don't seem to care. Make sure that there are multiple sources and they seem like credible sources. Sometimes if you trace a story back, you can find there's no source at all, just somebody speculating. The third factor is technology. Does the rumor mean that Apple's going to have to make more than one leap in technology? If so, then it's probably not true. And also, does the technology already exist out there? Apple very rarely comes out with a completely new piece of technology that's never been seen before. Usually you can find that piece of technology used somewhere else by another company, perhaps unsuccessfully. So looking at sources, there are several bad sources of information out there that people keep using to base rumors on. For instance, Apple Store employees. They're not told anything more than you are, and they usually don't even know about new products until they arrive on the loading dock that morning. Another place are analysts. Analysts don't have any inside information. They simply speculate, and if you read the reports, they say they're speculating, but people will take their information literally and base rumors on it. A third is book publishers, who often schedule books that are on new products or new revisions of operating systems or computers, but they're actually just trying to figure out when Apple's going to come out with new stuff like you are. Another source are inside sources in Apple. But think about it. If somebody gets caught leaking information from Apple, they lose their job and probably will lose their career. So why would somebody risk that just for the fun of leaking some information? It's not very likely. Also, patent applications are a common root of rumors, but Apple patents all sorts of things. They have a huge research and development department and often patent things that they're working on simply so they have that patent and then can't later be sued by somebody else who patents it later. And also, there's a lot of pictures and videos out there that are simply just fakes. Beware of them. 90% plus, maybe close to 100% of these leaked images are simply fake that somebody created just to get attention. But there are some sources that have proven to be pretty good over the years. For instance, leaks from either factories or stores. For instance, a factory may get an order for a new screen or a new processor that may point to a device that Apple's rumored to be working on. Also, in stores, sometimes they get inventory items showing up in their computers a couple days before Apple actually releases them. Another good source, at least for verifying rumors, is Apple itself in its quarterly reports. Sometimes they'll report that next quarter is going to be pretty good because they're coming out with something new or they're working on new products in a certain sector. And these, of course, are always true because Apple's stating them definitively. Another place is leaks between companies. Apple may be working with another company on something and an insider there may leak information, not being under the threat of losing his or her job as they would if they worked for Apple. And lastly, there's software hooks. A lot of bits of software have hooks in it for new products that aren't out yet. And when people find these, usually it's a pretty good indicator that a rumor may be true, or at least is very likely. So if you look at the three main factors I named, likeliness, sources, and technology, they almost always tell you whether a rumor is valid or not. Every once in a while, they fall short, like the initial release of the iPhone. It was a pretty radical departure from things Apple had done in the past, so it really didn't fit under that criteria. So every once in a while, Apple throws us a curveball. Looking at the tablet rumors, it does seem that this makes sense. After all, most of the technology and the software is already there in Snow Leopard. Apple already has a similar device in the iPod Touch, and there's been tablets out for both Windows and on devices like the Kindle for a while now. So it's not a radical departure, and it can be seen how this could add shareholder value. So I'd like to hear from you. Comment on this post at MacMost.com and let me know what other factors you look for in telling if a rumor is valid or not. Till next time, this is Gary Rosenzweig with MacMost Now.